Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back. It's been a minute. I know we went on holiday. I was also sick before I went on vacation for a couple weeks, so that's what was going down. And then tonight I plan to go live at about 9 p.m. Obviously, you guys are maybe watching this at a different time, but I had planned to go live about 9, but then I had a situation I had to deal with, so starting off a little bit late. But it is what it is. I think today, in this live stream specifically, it looks like we're going to be working on primarily kind of styling this up, making this look a little bit better, making it look more like Twitter's. Okay, I see where we go. We need to get the date here. We need to fill in this stuff with dates and times and whatnot. And yeah, we'll see what kind of goes on from there. This needs a line above it, and then we also need to figure out how to make this open up beside it, because I'm looking at Twitter and it opens up beside. So that's obviously something we need to deal with. But for the time being, we're just going to kind of work on this, see where it goes. I'm hoping to get a few more episodes here edited. Obviously, I've been out for a while, so I haven't had time to work on this. So let's go ahead and do that. So first thing we'll do, we'll go ahead and work on this top part with the whatever this thing is and so on and so forth. It looks like we need at least like a, I don't know, it looks like we need like maybe 8 or so padding around this, and we also need to see it looks like this needs to be the same color, needs to be thinner. We also need to figure out how to get the date and time, which should be actually pretty simple. So let's go ahead and hop into the code and just kind of see what happens here. So back into the code. So send on inject date time. That shouldn't be that bad, I don't think. The question is, how do we want to deal with this? We could, I don't know if I want use effect. Well, we might be able to do a use effect. Let's pop up a use effect here. And then this is just going to be as soon as we run it. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and import use effect really quick. And then let's go ahead and say const, although I don't think that we can current date time equal to, I don't think we can store a date in this, because I think a date is I'm pretty sure a date is unserializable. I don't think we can store it in here, but let's see what happens. Although it doesn't like that. What if we say date? Can it just be empty? Okay, it can just be empty, and then on use effect we'll say although we need to do this, so then we'll go ahead and say set current date time, and then we'll go ahead and say set current date time. We'll just say, can we say date.now? Is that a thing? It's not a thing. Let's see. Argument number is not of type set state action. Can we say new date? That work? New date? Okay. Then maybe let's just console.log the current date time to make sure it looks good, although that's not going to work. Shoot. So let's just go ahead and do this. So we're going to set that. So now we need the now this is going to be the part that's interesting. We also have to calculate it. Shoot. Okay, so we actually need like a real function to keep track of how many days. So this is not what we actually want. So we can actually say what we can say is this. So we'll say scheduled date and set scheduled date. And honestly, this could probably start out as a new, so we can probably do this. We can go ahead and make this a new date. You just start out as that. And then we're gonna need const, and I don't know how we want to do this, because whenever we do the date selector, it just dispatches. I don't remember what the dispatch takes. Dispatcher takes in a name value string. Okay, so we might just want to make like a really quick object, kind of like what we did with the other thing that we looked at. I don't remember what it was. It was something to do with date, so I don't, like I said, I don't remember exactly what it was. But we might want to do like something like, we'll say, let me think for a second here to gather my thoughts. We'll say scheduled, or schedule we'll say time offset and set time offset, maybe equal to use state, and then I have an object here that's going to be a little bit ugly. We're going to do this. So inside this object, we're going to have I think there's days, there's a number, and then there is hours number, and then minutes number, and then this will start out as days 0, hours, oops, 0, I need a comma, I got a comma, minutes 0. Does that work? All right, so like I said, it's a little bit ugly, but should work. So now we have our days, minutes, hours. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. Maybe like that. So now what we do is, how do we want to deal with this? So the date is always going to stay the new date. We might have a use effect, like so. And then maybe the use effect, although do we really need a use effect? We might not even need a use effect. We just need a function that calculates, so const calculate, and we're gonna say calculate scheduled date. And maybe we don't even need this. We might not even need this guy. So we'll calculate the scheduled date. So let's see. Let's make sure we do this right. And this will just return. We could return a string. We could return a date. Say date. Although, will this work? I don't know if this is gonna work or not. It'll probably work. Let's see what happens. So we're gonna go ahead and say, let current date equal to new date. We're gonna say current date is equal to current date dot set. We're gonna set we should be able to like set day or set date to current date dot get date plus, and then it should be like something like time offset dot days. It does not like that. Although we might be able to just do this, current date dot set date, and then we might be able to say current date dot, and then we'll say set hours to current date dot get hours, plus, and we'll do the same thing, and we'll say time offset dot hours, and we'll say current date, and then dot set minutes. I believe that's what it does. Excuse me. Yep. Okay. Set minutes, and then this will be current date dot get minutes plus time offset dot minutes, and then we return the current date maybe. And then what we do here is we inject the date here. So this will send on, I don't know how we're gonna get the day, but we can at least try to say like calculate scheduled date dot, it doesn't, and then we can say dot, and then we can say, we might be able to get month. Is that a thing? The only thing is, I think this would be a number, so we might have to make like a thing. What's the word for it? We might have to make like a map or something to kind of calculate this. And then, so I think we can get the day. So if we say get day, I think this will get the day of the week, comma, and we can say something like calculate scheduled date. You know, what does it look like we just do this? I'm curious. So calculate dot, and there should be like there's a 2 date string and 2 ISO string and a 2 local date string. Let's see what this looks like really quick. So let's see what happens here. So we'll send on 12/5/23. Okay, that makes sense because we don't have any offset. And let's see what we do now. We inject here. So if we say calculate scheduled date dot do local time string. What does this look like? The local time string is probably fine, I would imagine. I don't know if it's going to say PM. We'll see. Okay, so that works. We don't care about the seconds though, so we could probably cut that off, but it does have the PM, so that's good. And if we refresh this and hop back in here, so that's working as expected. What if we do an ISO string? So let's say dot do, what does an ISO string look like? Let's take a look at what ISO string looks like. So that's okay, so that doesn't work either, obviously. And then let's take a look at the last one. Dot, and then do, I think we might have looked at, we haven't looked at date string, I don't think. I don't think any of these are gonna work. This one is close though. We could probably like split this one and it'll probably work. Although we can't. This returns a, what does this return? A string. Okay. What if we say dot time string? Dot do, what does the time string look like? I'm just experimenting at this point. Okay, that made it worse. We like the local time string. Okay, fine, we can deal with that. So we definitely need to probably make a little bit of a whatever it's called. We probably need to make a utility to deal with this. Both of these, and maybe we make a utility that straight up calculates this and then returns just one big string that says we'll send on blah 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 at whatever time. So maybe we do that. So let's go ahead and make, instead of our scheduled post, new folder, we'll call it utils. make a new file. We'll call this schedule post utils.ts. I'll go ahead and copy this guy. I don't know if that we need this, although we might need it somewhere else. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll go ahead and bring this in here. Go ahead and export const. Okay. And okay, so yeah, that's the issue. So we need to go ahead and pass this in. We'll pass in the days number, minutes number. Actually, I guess it's hours first. Hours number, and then minutes number. We're gonna go ahead and say days, hours, and minutes. And that's fine. And we can also go ahead and get rid of this. And we can go ahead and get rid of this. And we're going to basically just make one call to whatever. And we'll also keep this guy. So that's fine. Okay, so that's good to go. And now we need to say export const generates scheduled string or something. And this one we can just calculate based off the days number. So we'll also need days number, hours number, and minutes number. Return a string. I'm trying to think what else we need here. We're gonna need a map or an array at the very least. So we're gonna say export const, we'll say days equal to, and this is gonna be, how do we want to do this? I guess we'll say Sunday, and I guess it's lowercase, so we'll say sun. We'll say Monday, say Tuesday. I'm assuming that's how they do Tuesday. I don't know. And we're just gonna go through here. Thursday. I'm assuming this is how this works, but I'm not 100% sure. Friday and Saturday. All right. There's that, I think. But we also need months, so export const months equal to, and months are also abbreviated. So, and I don't know all the abbreviations because I'm dumb. February, January, February, March is probably that, I guess. April, then May, June, July, August, whoops, September, October, and November, and December. Now, I do not know if these are going to be zero indexed or not. So that's probably something that we should try to figure out. Let's return a string really quick. We're just going to return a string. And we're going to go ahead and say let date equal to, we'll say let's calculated dates equal to, and calculate scheduled date, pass in the days, hours, minutes, and we're going to go ahead and say something like console.log. We're going to console.log calculated date dot, and we're going to say get month. We're going to see what this is. We're technically in the 12th month. So if it's zero indexed, it'll say 11. If it's not zero indexed, it'll say something else. We're gonna have to shift all these basically. Also, let's go ahead and say console.log. Although this, yeah, it worked, I guess. Calculated date.get day. And let's also see if this is counted as the second day, the third day, or like something else. So if it's the third day, that means that it's one indexed and Sunday's the first day. If it's the second day, it's probably zero indexed, but we'll see here. Okay, so let's come back into here for a second and let's just go ahead and call that. So we called this, I forget already, generate schedule string. So let's copy this and let's go ahead and call that. And I'm just going to pass in zeros because that's all it's inside of the state right now anyway. So let's go ahead and import that. And then let's go ahead and just take a look at the inspect window. So console 11 and 2. Okay, so it looks like it is 0, and so that's good. Cool. So that will help us out a little bit. So now we can go ahead and come back into here. And what we need is we'll send on whatever. So we'll go ahead and we might just be able to say like return. Oops. Return backticks, and then we'll go ahead and say $, curly brace, and this will be so days this, and then we'll say calculated date dot get day. Oops, get day, and let's see what this looks like. So now we'll go ahead and let's take a peek. So send on Tuesday. Cool, that's good because we haven't added any time to it yet. So send on Tuesday, and then comma, and then we'll say $, curly brace months. This will be calculated date dot get month. Okay, and then we will have another comma, no comma, and then this will be $, curly brace, calculated date, get date, whoops, get date. That's the date of the year. Then we have a comma, and then we have $, curly brace, and then this is calculated date, get full year. And then we have at, and then this one is also a little bit funky. So how do we want to do this? So I think I want to go ahead and say, we're gonna say let's full. We're gonna say full time string equal to calculated date dot get time. I want get locale time is what I want. Dot to locale time string. And the locale time string is what looks like this. So we're going to say $, curly brace, and we'll say full time string here, just so we can see what the time looks like. So we come in here, it says at 11 or 10:15 or 10:14:29. So basically what we want is we just want the 10:14. We want to get rid of this colon right here. We want just the PM. So we want to split this at the colons, I guess. So let's go ahead and just take a look at this. So we're going to go ahead and say, let's console.log. We're going to console.log full time string dot split. We're going to split it at the colon, like I mentioned. Let's just take a look at what this array looks like so we can kind of build this up. So if we come back in here and take a look at our console, so it's an array of 3. So we got 10, 0. Okay, so what we basically want to do is we want to do, this is going to be a little bit gross, but we can kind of get it to work, I guess. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and say at, and then we're going to say full time string dot split, and we're going to split it by that, and then we're going to go ahead and have 0. Okay, it's just being a little bit weird. We're gonna do the same thing again, and I know it's getting a little bit long, but this is gonna say $ full time string dot split. We're gonna split it by this. And you know what? Probably would have been smarter to go ahead and put this into an object. So we're gonna say let split. How do I want to call this? Split time equal to calculated date full time string dot split by colon. Maybe it'll save a little bit of space. So now this will be split time 0. This will be split time 1. So let's go ahead and do this. Split time 1. And then we can say let AM PM equal to full time string. Actually, no, we want split time. 2 dot split on the space. We want 1. And then we'll go ahead and say base, I believe, $ curly brace AM PM. And I think, fingers crossed, this should work out and do what we want. So let's go ahead and take a look. So there we go. We'll send on Tuesday, December 5th, 2023 at 10:17 p.m. as we expect. Let's make sure we clean up any mess we have here. Okay, that's good. And now let's go ahead and deal with actually passing in the correct values. So this will be time offset dot days, time offset dot hours, time offset dot minutes, like that. Okay, it's just being a little bit weird. So we're gonna pass in that data, and now we need to actually update that data. Let's go ahead and say const. We'll say update, and this will be const update time offset. And for this to be a dispatch, we just dealt with this a second ago, but I don't remember what it was on. It wasn't on the... What was this on? Was it on the poll? It was on the poll, wasn't it? Let's go ahead and take a look at the poll to see how we dealt with this, because I don't remember how this was done. We created poll, update time, dispatch, set poll dates. Although this actually has a dispatch on it, so maybe this is not the best. Although update times we call it, just takes in a name and a string. Then I guess let's just see what happens. So I forget how this works. We need to set this up too, and that's not gonna be very fun. Although it's probably gonna be the same as the poll, so I could probably borrow. But dispatcher needs a name string. So name colon string, and then it's gonna take in a name, hour, minute. So let's go ahead. Why is that AM PM? Oh, you know what? I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay. Oh, you know what? We're not adding time. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Not what we wanted to do. I just wasted a bunch of time, so that's terrific. We're actually setting... But let me double check this. Let me look at Twitter. Yeah, okay. I did this completely wrong. Shoot. Okay, well, we're redoing this, I guess. Let's go ahead and We don't need to generate a scheduled string because we're going to go ahead and set the exact date, month, time that we want to do this. So I don't know. For some reason I thought it was like delayed. But no, this one is different. That was for the poll, wasn't it? That's what I was thinking of. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of this. We don't need a time offset. We need the open date selector. So what we need to do is let's go ahead and get rid of this. Let's undo everything we've done, fortunately. We're on to something good there. That's unfortunate. Okay, so we don't need any of this. Go ahead and clear all this. I'm gonna get rid of the util as well. So I think we keep scheduled date. And honestly, let's just delete that. I'm gonna start from scratch. Let's go ahead and do a const set schedule date. So const, we'll say scheduled date and set scheduled date. Go to use state, and then this will take in the date, and it'll start out as a new date. So whenever we open this up, we'll just start out as the current date, brand new date, doesn't change anything. Okay, that's good to go. Now, what we need to go ahead and do is, let's go ahead and fix this. This doesn't need to be here. So what we're gonna need to do is, based on the drop down that we do, it's gonna have to update that scheduled date by setting the day, month, year, yada yada yada. And then we're also gonna need to deal with a couple other things as well. Although we already have the months, so that's good, I guess, except I don't know what the value is in this. Does this actually work? Let's take, although this doesn't work because this is minutes, AM, PM. So we'll have to deal with this. Let's take a look again really quick. So yeah, so that does work. Can we add the value in there? Let's look at the poll again, because I think poll we set it to something immediately as well. Yeah, so we can set the data. Okay. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna say data equal to, so here the problem is that we need the month and we don't have the month. So do we want to go ahead and let's go ahead and add the months into this guy here. So let's go into our what one do we want? Date utils, I guess. So we do have months. So let's do this. Let's export this month string, months array. And this will be months. I'm gonna import that. And then this is gonna be the current or scheduled date. Whoops. Scheduled date. Dot get. And then this would be get month. Then we're gonna say dot. Oh shoot, this has to be data has to be a number, doesn't it? Number or undefined. We'll deal with that. And then dot. Then we want to say what's how do we do this? I don't remember what this one is. Is it substring? Or slice? Slice. Index beginning. Index end. Let's slice from 0 to 2. And this is gonna be mad, so let's go ahead and go into our, it's probably gonna break everything, but we'll go into our validated date selector. Our validated date selector, and wherever we have our data, so data's here, the data will be a number or a string. And I'm sure that's not gonna cause any issues whatsoever, right? Right? It's definitely gonna cause issues. Let's see if we can get, oh wait, this one we don't need a slice. This one can just be the full month. We need to slice it whenever we inject the data. Ooh, let's see. So here, okay, the data's not set. Let's inspect console. Oh, there's an error. Okay, I'm gonna ignore that. I don't care about that. Okay, so data's not being set. So months. Data is equal to month scheduled date dot get month. Scheduled date should be new. We can set up a quick use effect to check that. We'll watch. Hopefully this doesn't break. I can already see this is gonna like infinite loop or something, but let's see. So we do have a date. We refresh and open it up. Tuesday, December, whatever. So data is not being set in here for some reason, even though we definitely have the data in there. Okay, so our scheduled date's good. So why is data not being set? So inside of our validated date selector, data, I'm pretty sure data goes just straight into value. Yeah. So I wonder why it's not filling that in. Interesting. Is it because of the set value? I don't want to change this because this will break everything. Although the value, I think, is different than the label. Because here, I think the data is something different than what's inside the drop down. But I could be wrong. Interesting. Oops. So I add January, value 1. Let's come back into the code. Let's go ahead and get rid of, oops, let's see here, schedule modal. We'll get rid of this. Because right now we're not changing anything. Refresh. January. Now it's working fine. But yeah, the value is different. So I think we need to say value for data is equal to, I think we just say scheduled date dot get month. I think we just pass in the actual number in there. Yeah, there we go. Ooh. Except it's off a month. Let's say +1, I guess. And we should be able to update this and stuff whenever we start going. Then obviously it's scuffed right now because the dispatch isn't doing anything. So we need to update the dispatcher. So what we can say is const. This is gonna have a name, I guess. So const. We're gonna say updates and scheduled date. What we're gonna go ahead and do is equal to this, and this needs a name string, and it needs, what else does it need? A value string number boolean. Value string number or boolean. Okay. And whoops, the ors or string or number or boolean. And I don't think it returns anything. I think it's a void. Yes. So then we can go ahead and pass this as update scheduled date. And what we're gonna go ahead and do is say, I guess we're just gonna go ahead and set up like a switch. Go ahead and say, how do we want to do this? I guess we could set up a switch. We already have the scheduled date. We're gonna switch on name. Now the problem is that name isn't gonna know. We're gonna say case month, and if the case is month, we're gonna go ahead and say might be okay. We'll see what happens here. If the case is a month, we're gonna say set scheduled date. We're gonna say scheduled date dot set, and we're gonna set the month to value. Value could be a string, number, or boolean. It does not like it, of course. Let's go ahead and try if this is the problem. If name is equal to month and value is it type of, and then value equal to number. Looks like that's right. And then we'll say set scheduled date to scheduled date. TypeScript price still isn't going to work, but dot set, we're going to set the month to the value. Even though we already tested to make sure it's type of number, argument of type number is not assignable to set action date. Oh yeah, because man. Okay. I don't think we can make a copy of this either because it's a let's say, no, that won't work either. We have a problem here. What if we say let date copy equal to due date, and then pass in scheduled date. date copy dot set, and then we're gonna go ahead and set the month to value. We're gonna pass the date copy. So this is a little bit gross, and maybe there's a better way to do this. I'm not sure, but we want to go ahead and set that schedule date, and then let's see if this does what we want. Refresh. We pop this open. You see it's December. Dispatcher. Dispatch is changed to a reducer. Value 1. Let's see if it at least works. So console.log month. Let's make sure this part's at least working. I don't have something weird here. Let's see. Fresh. I might be doing this completely wrong. Okay, that's not printing anything. It is calling this though, saying dispatch this change to reducer. This calls dispatcher yada yada yada. Dispatcher takes in this. What is name then? Let's see what name is. Let's console.log name. Either that or it thinks that the value is not a number. Console.log what name is. Then let's also log the value. Maybe the value is a string. Refresh. Take another peek. Month and 1. So it lowercases it. So let's say month and type of value number 1. Let's try this again. Let's refresh. Pop this open. Okay, that's no bueno. So now that's scuffed because we got scheduled date dot get month. And we're adding +1 to it here. So now if we refresh again, I was gonna say it's November for some reason. Is it the way that I have the date util set up? It is. The way that I have the date util set up. It's literally like 1, 2, 3, yada yada yada. The way that I have the way that I have the value set up is similar. So the question is, let's say schedule date.get month equal to new date dot get month. If that's the case, it would be scheduled date dot get month +1. Otherwise, it'd be scheduled date dot get month. If it doesn't, oh, this should be get date. So if the date is the same, still we'll go ahead and say that. Otherwise, we'll do something different. What happens now? So it says December. Let's refresh. It says December. We change it to December. Still says December. January, February. Okay, it's ugly, but it works. Let's go ahead and delete this. Okay, so changing the month is good. So now if the name is equal to day and type of the value equal to number. Now this one I believe is probably fine, although who knows? Let's check the date util. Date util. Probably fine. So famous last words right there. Go ahead and say let date copy equal to new date. Then we'll pass in that scheduled date. And we'll say date copy. We fix this date copy. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna say let date copy equal to new date. We're gonna pass in scheduled date here just to make it a little bit cleaner so I'm not writing this a million times. So date copy dot set, and this is gonna be date, and this is gonna be value, and we're gonna say schedule date that date copy maybe like so. So now if we change that, we should, I think, be able to go ahead and say a scheduled date dot get, and then we're gonna say get date. I don't think we have to add +1 or anything to this one. Whoops. We wanted to, I guess let's actually just add update scheduled date there, and then we want data is equal to scheduled date. Whoops. Dot get date. So okay, so let's double check this now. So 5th, that's good. We want it to be scheduled the 1st. That's good. Now, I'm guessing that we can't do in the past. That's gonna be a pain. We'll have to do a check to make sure it's not in the past, which maybe it won't actually be that bad. But this seems to be working. Ooh, this is obviously not working. If I do February, do they have a special case for it? They do. I should probably have a special case for February, because obviously that's not legal, but it is what it is. And then year only goes up to 3 years. So what do I want to do for year? I could just be lazy. I think get years has more than 3 years in it. Yeah, so get years needs to be different. So I'm gonna get rid of get years here, because we don't need get months either. So this should probably also be, well, this one's kind of special, I guess. So for the drop down, we need special options, huh? Let's go ahead and make a new folder. We'll go ahead and call this schedule post utils, a new file, schedule post utils.tsx. Yeah, we want tsx, I think. Export const get schedule years, and this will be simple. I believe this will return jsx dot elements. Oops, elements array, and it won't take anything in. It's just going to return. Basically, going to look at the current date. So let current dates equal to new dates, and then we're going to go ahead and say let's current. Actually, we could just go ahead and say let current year equal to new date dot get year. Oops, new date dot get full year, like so. So then we have the year, and then we'll say let options equal to empty array, and this options will be a JSX elements, like so. If I'm missing any comments, I'm sorry about that. So the repo is available. It's just not open to the public basically. And there is a video on like all of my videos basically explaining how to get access to it. And then here, so inside of our date utils, it's just an option with a value and a key, and then whatever goes inside of it. So let's just go ahead and grab this option really quick, and then inside of post utils, we're gonna say for let I equal to 0, I is less than 3, I plus plus. So it's gonna be very dead simple. I'm gonna say options.push, and we're going to push one of these options. And what is your problem? Ever is missing. Oh, this should be an array. There we go. Return our options. And so since a value this is going to be current year plus I, and the key is going to be the same thing. Key is going to be current year plus I. The value that goes in is current year plus I. We can go ahead and return that. And I did this wrong. Fix this. JSX element array, and we're exporting it. So now we can go ahead and import. We called this get schedule year. So get schedule years, and let's go ahead and import that. And now we should only see 3 years. And I have Twitter open on the side, although they do this backwards. They do 25, 24, and whatever the other one is. So we're gonna go and do that as well. So we let I equal to 2, I is greater than equal to 0, I minus minus. Save that. That'll fix that up. Get years. I don't know why I threw get years in here anyway. Rid of that, and we'll do one of these. Although, yeah, we need to return an array options. Oops. Okay. I don't know why my dispatcher is returning array of options, but anyway. Dispatcher obviously isn't updated yet, but let's just make sure the schedule years works. So starts out that, and then so they start out with kind of like how we have the other one. So if we come back in here and refresh, so there's this optional space. I don't really know how to make it so it's not clickable. And that does some weird stuff when you click on it. But anyway, that's kind of how they have it. They have it start out as empty, and if I'm gonna refresh really quick. So I refresh. I guess it does. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna do something similar again. So we are gonna have our data equal to, we're gonna say schedule date.get full year. So we are gonna start out with the current year, and then it's gonna be backwards. I'm not gonna add in the blank one because I think it's kind of dumb, and it's my party. I can cry if I want to, type of thing. So cool, that looks good. Now hour, minute, AM, PM. The minute needs to go to 60, and then hours, we check what hours looks like. So whenever I schedule a tweet, so hour, so that's the time of day, so it goes 1 through 12, and then obviously minute goes 0 through 8. Let's go ahead and do this, and I might already have an hours, but I'm not really sure. It might be a 24-hour anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add it in here. So inside of our, where'd our util go? Let's go ahead and say export const get schedule hour. I have no idea how to set AM PM. So that's gonna be, maybe I add if it's AM, but it's 0 for midnight, right? So I'm gonna have to do some calculations based on AM PM, so we'll see. But let's go ahead and just do this. So we'll say get schedule hours equal to, and this will be a JSX elements, and do that. And then so here what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're just gonna say let options, and let options be a JSX.elements array equal to an element array. And then we'll go ahead and say for let I equal to 1 and I is less than 13, I plus plus. We could have done this a different way. Options.push. We're gonna push option with the value equal to I, so it's gonna be dead simple. E equal to I, and then this is gonna have I inside of it. We'll return the options. Okay, export const get schedule minutes, same thing, JSX. If I could type, that'd be really cool. Elements, then this, and then again let options JSX.elements array equal, if I could type, equal to that, and then for let I, this one can equal to 0, so let I equal to 0, I is less than 60, I plus plus. And here we'll go ahead and say options.push, and again this is just the easiest way to do this. Option value equal to I, although I bet this one says 0 0, doesn't it? Okay, so this one needs to be like a string. How do I want to do this? You know what, I might do this stylistically. So I'll do this later. I'm gonna format this later. Value E equal to I, and then inside there'll be an I, like so. Again, go ahead and return this, return options, and then export const get AM PM. This one's super dead simple. This one we probably don't even need to do. I probably could have just made a array of 2, but it is what it is. Let options be a JSX elements array. That we'll just say options.push. Whoops. We fix this to options.push, and we'll do an option. And honestly, I could have just done this inline up there, but it is what it is. Value will equal, you just do this, AM. I'm assuming this is the top one, but I'm not honestly sure. It is what it is. I'm not that worried about it. Key is equal to AM, and then inside it'll say AM. We'll do the same thing for PM. So copy this, paste it. So option will be PM. If I could type PM, E will be PM. This will say PM. Of course, we'll return this, return our options array. Now we can go ahead and just do the same thing if I click on the right thing. So now in our drop down, so these are fine, I think, months, days, years. But now for hour, for drop down, we're gonna say get schedule hours For the days, we'll say get schedule. This should be minutes actually. Schedule minutes. Then for AM PM, we'll say get schedule. Or actually, this is get AM PM. So now we should at least have drop downs working. So we pop in here. Well, not really working. Okay, I messed up the hour. Oh, I forgot my curly brace on. Was out of that. Where did I forget my curly brace? From my curly brace here. That. Okay, go. Hour. Now, of course. Actually, no, that is how they do it. Okay. 1 through 12. I honestly like it better without the thing on the top. Refresh. Take a look. Let's take a look again. This needs to be set to like the current time. Now I don't know if I can get AM PM or set AM PM. That would be nice if it was just simple. So I'll have to see. You know what? I am probably gonna have to do it stylistically this way. You know what we can do is back inside of post utils, we can say if I is less than 10, we're gonna say options.push. Let's throw an else here. And it's a stylistic thing, so the value can still be 0, but we'll add a 0 in front. So I think that might look better. So 0, 0. Yeah. Well, that works perfectly, but the value is still just like 0, 1. Okay, that's good to go. Now the data, I don't know if we can get AM with PM. That might be something I have to research a little bit later. But let's see here. So now let's go ahead and set up the data for these just so that they look better. So data equal to, so this one is hours. So this one should just be schedule date.get, and we should be able to get hours on this one. Now I'm a little bit concerned about the AM PM, so we'll see what happens here. Data equal to be schedule date.get minutes. So, and then finally, so AM PM, I have no idea what we can here. The data equal to scheduled date dot get. So let's get month, get time zone offset. There's some UTC stuff. Well, let's see here. What if we say get UTC hours? What does this look like? Let's see if this looks like it's like 2300. I guess that's not going to work though, because that's saying AM PM. So obviously that's not going to work. For data, let's go ahead and see what this looks like up here. Let's go into the hours. Let's see what scheduled date.utc hours looks like. We're going to do some sort of calculation. It says 4. If we say get hours, it doesn't say anything really that great either. So if we refresh, it says hours 1. Should say 11, you would think. Because scheduled date's equal to a new date. That's interesting. So that should be correct. Get hours should be right. Get the hours using local time. It should be the current time. This one's perplexing. I'm not sure why that one's not working. Although it's not working either, I guess. None of these are working actually. Because minutes is also showing nothing basically. Although minutes might be right actually. Yeah, minutes is working. Hour is not working for some reason. Interesting. Wonder why hour is not working. Number, right? Get hours is a number. Data can be a number. I believe if we go back into our validated date selector, data is a number or a string. Just puts the data in there. So I wonder why. Keep clicking on the wrong thing. Let's double check our files here. Hours at 1:13. Value I, that should be fine. Should start at 1. Go to 12. Does. That should be fine. I don't think it's to get schedule hours. Is that something to do with this No, it's not the dispatcher because the dispatcher is fine. Huh. Interesting. Why is hour incorrect, but the rest of it seemed fine? Gets the hours and a date. That's strange. The rest of these look fine. Probably say 2 date string. What does this look like? Actually, let's say 2 local time string. Obviously, this isn't what we want. Something with this guy. This guy's not working properly. But I'm gonna have to call it here for tonight. I really want to. I don't think I can console.log in here. That's the problem. Get hours. I'm gonna use the fetch really quick. See if I can console.log the scheduled date .get hours. What does this look like? Like, why am I getting 1 here? 23. So yeah, that's what I figured. What if we mod 24 of this? That's wrong. Probably mod 24 of this. Going out of the range. We want to mod 12. There we go. And that's how we can get AM or PM, right? So if we want it to be PM, then so data, this is gonna be ugly, equal to, this will be scheduled, scheduled date dot get hours, and this will be, how do I want to do this? Divided by 2, divided by 12, greater than 0, question mark. It'll be PM, otherwise it'll be AM. Does that work? So PM. Here we go. All right. So that is us setting up our correct date and everything. And then here we need to set this up. And this is actually pretty simple, I believe. Let's go ahead and set this up really quick, and then we'll call it a stream. So let's say, and how do we want to do this? I mean, I think it'll probably be best just to do this const generate date string. The AM PM thing will be a little bit funky. We'll see. Although it might be kind of easy. We'll see. Generate date string. We'll do this. So the date string should say the month. So we can say, oh no. The one thing is scuffed, so I don't know how I want to do this. Although, well, I think let's go ahead and console.log get months. Oops, get month. I think it's scuffed. I think this isn't going to work correctly the way that I want it to. It's kind of annoying. Month 11. Yeah, so this is 0. So I guess we can. Okay, it's fine. We can make work. So we'll say return. Actually, we'll say const month is equal to months, and then we'll say scheduled date dot get. This is month +1, and then dot splits. Was it split? It wasn't split. It was slice. Want slice or substring? This one returns a string, so sure, we'll slice it. We'll slice it from 0 to 2, and then const day equal to. I think I need to go ahead and do this because I don't think I have this on the date utils. Months, so inside of the scheduled post utils, go ahead and say, whoops, for const days equal to, I think we start on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll go ahead and import this. So here, day will be days scheduled date dot get day. We don't need to slice that one because we already have it set up. We already have the date, the year. We have the hours, which will have to be modded. So const hours is equal to scheduled date dot get hours, and then this will be mod 12. Const minutes equal to scheduled scheduled date.get minutes, and then const am PM equal to scheduled date.get hours divided by 12 is greater than 1 or greater than 0. And if that's the case, it'll be PM. Otherwise, it'll be AM. And of course, we still need to let's see here. We still need to set up the update schedule date, but at least we can make this look pretty. Return backticks, and this is going to be $month, comma, so no, this is day, comma, $ curly brace month, and then this will be, we need date, so let's go ahead and say const date is equal to actually day of month. We had this issue before, is equal to scheduled date.get date. And we could have done this differently. I'm just trying to make it look a little bit prettier. $, curly brace, day of month, after day of month, comma, $, curly brace, and we don't have year. But I don't need to do this. Const year equal to scheduled. We're already this far deep. Scheduled date.get full year. Might as well go full bore here. The year, and then at $, curly brace, hours, colon, $, curly brace, minutes, and then $, curly brace, AM, PM. So there is our generate date string, and then now go ahead and inject here, generate date string, and hopefully this works because I just put a bunch of work into it. So it says Tuesday. Okay, we didn't go far enough. Slice to 3, I guess. There you go. We'll send on Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. I think that's correct. At 11:13 p.m. If we change these, breaks. Terrific. So has to do with setting the date probably. Yeah, it's 1 off again. I love this. I don't know what I was thinking. We might have to do something similar again to this. I have to do this again, so copy this, paste it in here. That is super ugly, but let's see if it fixes it. Fingers crossed. Let's refresh. Click on this. December, January, February, and it's all because of this like little space up here. And honestly, I should probably just get rid of that space because it's really annoying, and I don't know why Twitter has it anyway. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this stream. So I appreciate you all for stopping by, whoever did stop by and watch it, or whoever watched it later on even. Appreciate y'all. Hopefully the audio is okay, because it seems like my voice might be a little bit quiet. So we'll see what happens here. I'll try to get this quickly uploaded as quickly as I can. Double there, but it is what it is. And then I'll hopefully, fingers crossed, see you guys on Thursday. I'll hopefully get all of this edited up this weekend and get it uploaded and everything. And my goal is to hopefully have everything set up through New Year's, and then we're kind of gonna take it from there. So thank you all again. I'll see you in the next one.